All right, I'm just going to get right into it here. I got three topics. I'm going to talk about mentality, nutrition, and working out here. I want to just start off with the most important thing I think here with the mentality, which is the discipline, not motivation. And basically, what I'm trying to talk about here is consistency, right? I hear people all the time always talking about, like, oh, I don't have the motivation to do this. I'm really struggling, you know? And it's like, yeah, like you're not going to have the motivation to have a lifelong commitment of being healthy, like working out, eating proper, right? Doing all these extra things part of your day to ensure that you're being healthy. And that's where the discipline thing comes in, right? It's like, yeah, no one likes doing this consistently, right? Every day at least, you know? There's days you feel good, there's days you feel bad. But that's where the discipline comes in and you still achieve what you're going for, man. You're trying to achieve your goal. And you just need to drop the ideology that like you're going to wake up and feel great and I'm going to do this, and you need to adapt like, no, this is part of my routine, right? Like I eat clean. I don't buy fast food all the time. I don't come home from work, sit on the couch, do nothing, right? I either work out before work, or I come home from work and I do it. It's part of my routine. And that's like the thing you want to nail home the most. Consistency. You're going to be doing this for the rest of your life if you actually want to make a change in your health, right? So it's not going to be a couple weeks, it's going to be a lifelong thing. The next most important thing I really think here is people with a victim mindset really need to let that shit go. My couple points here, like people talking about like their genetics. Oh, I'm like, I'm genetic predisposition to like be fat or like to be really skinny. It's like, no, you're not. You just eat too much food or you don't eat enough food, man. I really hate when people say genetics when it comes to like being healthy or like having some muscle. To a certain extent, you're not going to look like a bodybuilder, or some people look better than others. But to like have this excuse, like when you're fat or you're like really like unhealthily skinny and you're like blaming genetics or something, that's just like your brain is cooked, man. And you really need to get out of that. That's ridiculous, right? That's literally getting you nowhere. The next one, just talking about like work, family, upbringing, work. Okay, like you need to do what you got to do, man. If you works hard and you want to eat healthy or start working out, building muscle, right? You feel like that's what you want to add to your life, you need to, make a game plan. You're going to start working out before you go to work, or you're going to come home from work and work out right away. I always found with my work, when you come home and you put it off, that's when you fail. It's like this ability to come home and be like, no, like part of my routine is I'm going to go work out. I'm going to do this. That's where you really succeed. That's where you can really separate yourself from the average person, and you can really see results, right? And be healthy and feel really good about yourself. Family upbringing, I kind of just mean like, I have a family, I have kids. No, 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 I have no time. Or like, oh, I wasn't like taught this stuff like that. Like, you're an adult. Like, figure it out, man. Okay. No one's gonna help you out with this shit. If you actually want it, you got to just do it. So I just want to really focus these points on the mentality, right? Because of the, like, if you're, maybe you just need this motivation to hear, like, yo, you can do it because you can, right? You just need to create that time in order to push yourself. And you just got to really want it, man. You got to be hating on yourself, kind of, where you're like, you know what? I'm sick of the way I look, or I'm sick of the way I feel. And I really want to make a change in my life. And that's where you start, right? So going into nutrition, very straightforward. First and foremost, you're trying to lose weight. You need to be in a calorie deficit. You need to track your calories. If you're trying to gain weight, you track your calories, you make sure you eat in a surplus, but you don't go in such a surplus where you're just putting on fat. So if you're eating honestly like 500 more calories, I think even almost that's pushing it. Maybe you want to go for like 300 more calories in your and you're like surplusing 300. Your maintenance is, let's say, 2200 calories a day. When you're trying to gain weight, you eat 2500 calories a day, right? And you see where that takes you. It's about experimenting as well, right? Am I doing what I want to do? But you got to make sure that you're not just like putting on a bunch of fat, because that's not a proper way to bulk when you're trying to gain weight with that. And then losing weight, you just need to be in a calorie deficit, right? Like 200, 300 calorie deficit. Consistency, once again, like you really need to, if you have this problem where you like don't see quick results, that's not how it works. That's why you're failing, right? It's a long-term thing. Over the course of months, are you going to see the results of you losing weight? Right? And you really need to understand that that's what the food is like, that's what nutrition is all about. Lose weight, gain weight, it's food. It's not working out, it's not going on the treadmill, it's not doing any of that shit. It's food. You need to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight. I'm trying to really hit this point because some people I'm talking to, they're like 40 years old, they don't understand this. It's like, no, man, you need to eat less food to lose weight. There's not a thing about like my metabolism or whatever. No, you're not tracking your calories properly. You're not in a deficit. You're not losing weight. You're not a superhuman, okay? Like you can't just make calories out of thin air. You need to lose weight. You need to eat less food. You need to eat, you're in a calorie deficit, right? Creatine wise for muscle building and just overall like water retention, right? Helps you do a couple extra reps, helps you look more full, especially when you're looking for you're like a skinny guy and you're looking to put on a few extra pounds as well. Creatine really helps with that. When you take it around like the 10-gram dose, there's like studies that it helps with your brain, but I'm mainly just talking about like the overall physical effects of it. It's gonna help keep water in your muscles. It's gonna allow you to do 1-2 extra reps. It's gonna make you look bigger, right? Just make sure you're chugging lots of water when you're taking that. If you drink no water with that, that's probably gonna mess up your kidneys. So always take creatine. Everyone should be taking that, unless you have like a kidney problem. Supplements, I just want to talk about like if you it's a supplement, right? So if you need it and you're not able to get it in your daily life, then you take it. I'd rather advocate people to eat to get like their protein goals. And just a side note with the protein goal in general, I would say like you want to eat 0.75 of your body weight, grams of your body weight. So that's what you should be aiming for. If you're not able to get that for some reason through Whole Foods, then I would be like, okay, take some protein powder to hit that goal. Don't just take protein powder to take protein powder, right? Like have the reason to take it. Like, oh, I'm unable to hit my protein goals of what I want to do, so I'm going to take protein powder, right? Like use supplements properly. Don't just like take it to take it. It just makes no sense, right? Like you're just kind of wasting money. So if you're getting your protein, why are you taking a supplement? You don't need that. Like the extra shit isn't going to make a massive difference and you're just spending money on that, which is useless. And that's where it goes in kind of like the proper food section, where when you're gaining weight, you're going for the calorie surplus, right? You don't just like eat donuts, okay? You don't just eat candy to gain that weight, because then you're going to feel like shit. You eat proper food, you eat whole foods, just throw in some extra rice in your meals, extra carbs, right? Add oatmeal to your meals, right? Like that's what I used to do sometimes to also help gain some weight. I would just eat oatmeal as long with my other meals, but I wasn't just eating garbage, right? Because then you don't feel good, you feel like shit, and that also just makes you put on fat, which you don't want to do. You're looking to build muscle with your bulk, gain some good strength. You don't just want to put on a bunch of fat. That's whack. And that's kind of relates with the whole nutrition, just proper food, right? Taking creatine. Always track your calories. If you're not tracking your calories, you're not even serious, right? That's the most first and foremost. Like, you're not even about it, man, if you're not tracking calories, especially losing weight, gaining weight, talking all this nonsense. No, if you're not tracking calories, you ain't serious. And we'll go into the last thing here, which is just working out. And working out, I have these like standards here, so it's just like help give someone like a baseline, but it's so much like what is going to keep you consistent while being realistic. Like, I'm actually stressing out my muscles, or I'm actually stressing out my heart, and in terms of like cardio, to see growth and to be healthy, right? And to actually stress your body and to make yourself feel good. So my basic thing is just going for weightlifting, 8 to 10 reps. Very simple. You want to go to a weight that you're hitting 8 reps on. It's like, okay, that's a good weight for me. Once you can do 10 of that weight, then you just increase the weight, right? And just keep it as simple as that for every single exercise, right? Until you're at the level where you can start experimenting, but don't go off the rail and start doing like 30, 40 reps of stuff. Like, you have to understand yourself and know like what's going to keep me consistent, because that's all that matters, the consistency, right? Consistency over months and years really shows the actual results of people. Like, no one's working out for 3 months looking insane, right? So going to failure, it's like one of the most important things. Think about a muscle. It needs to be stressed enough to like commit to the growth. And if you're never going to failure, how is your muscle supposed to know to grow? It's like, oh, I can do what you're getting me to do. So it doesn't need to think in its mind, oh, I need to grow. So just understanding muscle, how that works, right? Like, you need to stress it out. That's how it's going to grow. Talking about consistency, of course, this is a lifelong commitment. Don't be thinking that you're going to get this in a couple months, right? And even if you do, what, are you going to fall off the rails? No. So you're going to dial in. And just tracking everything, right? Tracking all your workouts, checking your, writing down all your max reps, what your workout plan is, stuff like that. So when you can actually look at what you're doing and you can get a reminder to yourself, because sometimes you get through the motions of a couple months in and you realize like you're looking at your weights and you're like, oh, I'm doing the same shit I was doing like a month ago or a year ago, right? And it's like you need to evaluate and you need to be realistic, and you're like, what am I not doing here? Am I actually going to failure? Am I actually increasing my calories, right, to a point where I'm seeing results, or am I just simply going through the motions, not doing it? You're not going to have a beast day every day, but you need to be serious and realistic about like your working out routine, and and what you're doing. Are you actually stressing yourself out? So I really do believe if you just follow what I've literally just talked about and keep the proper mentality with stuff, I mean, you're gonna see great improvements in your health. Like it's very straightforward, right? Just eat right. The only other thing I would honestly throw in here is make sure you're sleeping, right? You need to be sleeping to see growth, especially with the muscle, and just so many other things, right? Like you're not getting sleep, it's gonna be harder to work out. It's gonna be harder to commit to the long-term process of like going home and making food instead of eating fast food. Oh, I'm tired, I'm just going to order food instead of making food, right? Stuff like that. That's where people fail, right? Where they get super tired, they're not doing the right things. And yeah, just evaluate what you're missing or what you need, and you should be good to go. So hopefully that helps.